Hello, this is good. Hello, my name is Willoughby, and this is Local Voter Education 4, a series of things that might be taught or teaching kids in school at an early age about local voter education and the responsibility of taking care of their city. And that. Right now we're at 96% not voting in our local. I don't know how low it's got to be before you call it critical, but to me, I think we're on life support. But nevertheless, this is number 4, and what this issue will be around is code compliance. Actually, I won against code compliance. Around September 30th, code compliance approached me on my property here, give me a 10-day notice to fix several things. I did not apply to that request. I challenged everything they said. And I talked to the superintendent, Todd Ketchens, and told him I was not going to do these things. And it goes into a lengthy story. But here's the bottom line. A lack of knowledge loses battles. That's the whole thing. A lack of knowledge loses battles. That's why we need voter education in school. Nothing's more dangerous to a bad politician than an educated voter. So I'm real strong about this. It's screaming for it, and we need to do it soon. But the first time I had an encounter with code compliance back in 2013, I got ran all over the place, treated like crap. It was the first time. I had no knowledge. I was easy to take advantage of. I did 6 days of community service when I was not guilty from bogus citations. Code compliance sent letters behind my back to people that I did business with, allegations that were not true, and I was unaware and found out strictly by accident back in 2013. And when I found that out by accident and that they could do that, so everything changed in my life right then. It really woke me up. And when I took it all up to city council, they didn't seem to care. Mayor Price didn't care. Matter of fact, they encouraged this kind of behavior with code compliance, because if you see the overall picture, everything makes sense, but you have to see the overall picture. And maybe by bits and bits, the overall picture will come in view for you. I don't know. But nevertheless, these officers have not had power before. They are given power without training, proper training apparently, and it goes to their head. And they'll intimidate people. Code compliance is in bad need of being reformed. I became aware of they could write citations every 24 hours for the same violation. Every day they can write you another ticket for the same violation. I felt that's way too strong for nuisance ordinances. That's way too strong. I also found out that they can write citations every 20, with zero notice, they can write citations. So, since that day on, in my books, code compliance needs to be modified. Several reasons it needs to be modified. One of the number 3 things, 30-day notices instead of zero notice. And 30 days, one citation is enough. They don't have to write 20 citations like they do. They'll go out and try to bully people. In this case, where they came out this time, I didn't let code compliance run me around. They gave me a notice, 10 days to fix certain stuff. I didn't, or they put 10 days down, even though they don't have to give you 10 days. But I didn't do it. And in my court case, I put in this, I entered all this in my court case too, that I did not abide to code compliance because I do not recognize code compliance as a legitimate organization. Any organization that works for the city and attack a citizen's character behind their back, that's not right. That's not a normal, that organization needs to be modified. That's all there is to it. That sends flags, that's not right. That's outside the boundaries, that should not be allowed, period. This was in September the 30th, 2025. And it was like October, 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, I go back, maybe late October, code compliance showed up again. but they didn't come up on my property. They were in the car and they were parked just a little bit out of sight behind a bush by my house, and I noticed them and I watched them. And when they pulled up to take pictures, I went out and confronted them. And she didn't want to take any questions and she ran away. The officer on September the 30th that wrote these violations up, I had him come back out 10 days later and confronted him with a camera, and he didn't want to answer any questions and he ran away. So they run away, and that's not right. But anyway, so what happened again in April, I got another notice. Now from September to April, a second notice came in, no citations whatsoever, none. Another one saying that I have 10 days to correct this stuff that I hadn't corrected yet. And I called the superintendent again and told him I wasn't going to do it. And in May, I got an email, a phone call, saying the case has been closed. So now I didn't let it just close. I called, and I couldn't get a return call, so I went to the assistant director, Shannon. I have her number, and every time I call her, I seem to get a response. After I called her and I said, look, I left word, I want this in writing. It's a key thing. Code compliance is going to close the case with you. You want it in writing. After I called her, I got an email, case is closed in writing. I did nothing. I did not obey bond. I did nothing, and the case is closed. But now I still have a court case that I filed against Code because the officer came on my property without permission, took pictures through the glass door of inside my house after being warned not to come on the property. I also have filed against his license in Austin, Texas. This is something I've got right now. They wanted proof. I sent them what I had. Most of this, a lot of it's video, but what I sent back to Austin simply to the officer there, I sent them the code officer's name and phone number. And I asked for them to call the officer and ask him, did he enter the property at 617 Bay without permission? I said, and if he lies, I will send you all the evidence. That will give us two things. Not only did he go on the property, but then he lied to them. Let's see. Let's see if they'll do that. They may not want to do it, and if they don't want to do it, that's a problem with the system. This is why we've got bad people. And so let's see, I've got no response yet. I'm waiting to see what their answer is to the license. The second thing is my court case in a federal court right now. What I filed on the court case was $50,000 for invasion of privacy or code compliance modified to public approval. Now you've got to ask, why is the city fighting me? Why would they not want to settle this one out of court? This seems like it's cost me the money to set this up. I don't even ask them for court fees. This is what I want. Instead, they're fighting. Their lawyers are battling this out instead of coming to a conclusion of modifying code compliance, because I think most people agree these three things need to be changed. Above all, there's more, a lot more needs to be changed, their attitude of training. One of the points I made out to Code with the issue with them, I said, when my neighbor next door comes to me and says there's something on my property he doesn't like or it's hurting the neighborhood or anything like that, I will jump and take care of it immediately. I'll drop what I'm doing and address that issue. But when code compliance comes out and tells me to do something, they do not exist in my mind. I do not acknowledge that organization that works like this until it's modified to be a responsible, respectable organization. But in court, now why is the city fighting this? You got to ask why. You really should think about that. That's the key thing here, because what a settlement. Just modify code to what we want. We're the people. It's our city. We live here. Oh, the three things probably get lost here real quick. One is 30-day notices before any citation. And the reason I strong it for 30 days, and you got to think about everybody in the city. It shouldn't be like one plan fits all. Some people work 6 days a week. With a 30-day notice, you're only giving them about 4 days to work with, but At least, and they can ask for more time, or at least we can do something, but at least 4 days. We're talking nuisance ordinance, okay? Treat people with respect. I think 30 days is fine. If they seem like they do not want to comply and there is a real issue, 1 citation is sufficient, a $600 fine. It may take a little while for it to get to court, but if they hadn't took care of it or addressed it, I think when they get hammered by the judge, they will straighten up. It won't take anything. It doesn't take 10 or 15 tickets. It's a waste of our taxpayers' money. It's more intimidating. I know a lot of these officers write those citations out of malice. Mine were written out of malice, not necessity. I know another one they wrote, the officer wrote 5 tickets out of malice over some chickens. He said because they threatened him, the owner threatened him. So he wrote 5 more tickets. That's out of malice, not necessity.
Congratulations to Fort Worth Code Compliance for making the streets safe from killer chickens. It seems that 6 of the notorious beasts escaped from their compound and were on the loose to frighten the neighborhood, but luckily Code was on the job, and without hesitation issues 6 citations, 1 for each of the killer chickens at $275 each, making the streets safe again for children to play outside.
So these things we need to put a stop to. 1 citation's enough and move on. The other one of the main ones that need to be changed. We need to put it in writing. I met with Mr. Cook, city manager David Cook, and he confirmed code compliance has the privilege to lie. They can lie with no repercussions because they lied about me. No repercussions. And then they send it out to people behind my back on top of that. Yes, I'm not after vintage, and I want a better city to live in. And the only way I see this is going to happen is with voter education in school. And I'm afraid it's going to take longer than I've got for that to develop. But nevertheless, that would be something nice to leave behind, knowing that I helped get voter education in school, teach these kids how to manage their city. That'll be in number 5. But this one right now is code compliance. I won my case closed, no citations. And we still have a court case. I don't know how it's going actually because I'm not an attorney. I probably won't get neither one, but you got to ask, why would this city even want to fight me on that kind of case to get code modified to our approval? I'll tell you how we do it. We don't need courts. This whole thing shouldn't be in a court period if we had a mayor. You need a mayor and a city to run right. Number 1 thing, a mayor. And so we have that. And we're not going to get one by elections. They're placed in office. We had to have enough people to step up and remove this mayor out of office. She's done a lot of damage to the city and knows how much more she will do before she leaves. So that's my number 4.